What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, and of course with
Baltimore.
I messed that up. I messed that up.
My name is Baltimore.
That would be kind of cool if your name was Baltimore. That would be kind of cool. That'd be a cool name to have. What's your name? My name is Baltimore. All right, let's do this again. Here we go. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, and of course with my man Coach Sander, who's down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
Big fun down in Baltimore. We are back for yet another episode. It is March the 4th. I was looking for the date. It is March the 4th. It is 8 o'clock. We are live, and we want to welcome y'all here and thank y'all for joining us. We have a few things that we're going to talk about today, a few things going on, a few things that we're going to mention. And before, of course, we get into everything, I like to ask my folks how they've been. So, Miguel.
Yo.
How you been?
I've been good. Weather's finally breaking. This arthritis is more manageable now.
You big dummy.
I'm a big dummy because I have arthritis.
No, that was just, it wasn't really directed to you. It was just a reference. A reference of the arthritis was, that was Fred G's, one of his things. Kind of my arthritis. So I had to throw in the big dummy.
And you have to always do that part. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you know what? I did it and it wasn't on camera. I didn't. The arthritis. There we go. So I'm sorry. Were you finished with what you were saying? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
You big dummy.
That's just for GP right there. Few things we're going to talk about today. We got. I got to talk about the Sixers because they're in season. They're actually playing right now. Ain't no point in watching them right now until after we're done. So don't even worry about it. You ain't gonna miss them. But no Edgecombe, no Embiid, no Paul George. Let me see. Maxey is playing. I'm not sure if Kelly Oubre is playing. Probably not. I know he didn't play last night because he was sick. So yeah, they're missing quite a few people. But we'll get into that. We got some Phillies news for you, and we got some sad news for you. Sad news out of the world of sports. Football coach Lou Holtz passed away today at the age of 89 years old. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a Notre Dame fan. Like I know people that are like Notre Dame fans that were like, I guess they were big on Lou Holtz. Wasn't a big Notre Dame fan. I know he coached at also during my time. Just saying, at South Carolina. So I know Notre Dame isn't just tied to his legacy. He's a football coach and beloved by a lot of people. But when I think of Lou Holtz, I think of Notre Dame. It's almost like saying it's not as bad as saying, but it's almost like saying Duke University basketball to me.
Gotcha.
Just that type of thing. But rest in peace to Lou Holtz. Did you want to say anything about that, Miguel, before we move forward? And I mean no disrespect to Lou Holtz.
Yeah. No disrespect. I know he was a great analyst on the NCAA football shows on ESPN. Condolences. Had a great college career, and may he rest in peace.
Yes, may he rest in peace. Looking at my notes. The World Baseball Classic is getting ready to start, right? So the teams are, getting their tune-up games in. I believe Team USA. I forgot who they played. Who Team USA played, or they're going to play, whatever. But the Phillies played Team Canada, and they lost. I mean, quite honestly, I expected them to lose because it's not like it's all the top players playing, and to me, Miguel, and I don't know. I know you're big on baseball. You understand baseball at every level, at every professional level. and how the inner workings work. Preseason baseball for me it's never done it for me. You either?
No, I mean, unless it's like, so this year marks the 7th anniversary of when we signed Bryce Harper. So, of course, when you get like the new free agent in, I think a year or two later we got Schwarber. So you just want to see like a couple of at bats, but nothing like that keeps me
Knowing that
going to
nothing
this game.
really counts, knowing that, and then as you kind of, at least for us as baseball guys, you realize that some of these guys are facing guys, and I don't mean this literally, but it could be literal for some people. Guys that we were just coaching in the summer league like 2 years ago, and they're trying to work their way up into the rankings, and they're pitching against a Bryce Harper, and you know that they don't have a shot. You know what I mean? And Bryce Harper hits a blast, and when you don't know any better, you get excited. Oh, Bryce is back. You see that home run he hit? But then when you look deeper into it, like, yeah, that guy is going to be playing in the Carolina League, maybe.
But you know what though? It's something weird about like hearing the first home run off of a wooden bat in the cold in the spring, that it's just like that loud and that echo, and you see it going. It's something about hearing it for the first time after the 4 or 5 month layoff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Something very, very, to me, it's very special. Almost like a first kiss.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay.
Sorry.
I mean, so here's what I'll do to
I didn't
save
mean to
space.
mess you up.
Yeah. It's for me, it's just a reminder that warm weather is on the way.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing.
Okay. Warm, warm weather is on the way. Um,
Something's warm.
well, and speaking of the Phillies, real quick, we talked a little bit about, some Phillies here and there, but um Johan Rojas suspended 80 games for banned substance. However, it seems that he's appealing it, I believe. I think I heard some talks that he's going to appeal it, and he was able to play today against Team Canada. Actually, made a pretty good play. I don't know if you've seen it. I didn't
I
put the
did.
video. You saw it. That's great. Um, Rojas. I'm just gonna say PEDs. It's banned substance. I don't know what the substance was, but I'm gonna just say PEDs. Right? There's there. I don't think. And somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. Goose said, "What's up, fellas? What's up? What up, Goose?
Goose!
Goose, who is on the other side of the earth right now. Shout out to him. Um, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying, Miguel.
You were talking about Rojas and
Yes, Rojas. The way I understand it, like people take the PEDs to like come back from injury, right? And like that, or to be able to hit the ball farther. That's like the biggest idea that you'll be able to hit the ball farther, right? With that being said, Miguel, I mean, excuse me, is Johan Rojas, right?
mhm.
I keep wanting to say Miguel Rojas. Johan Rojas wasn't hitting the ball that much, in my opinion. Like it didn't constitute it for me. Like when I hear it, I'm like, like why? Like why are you being suspended for banned substance? Like what's the banned substance? And what's it for? Like I hope it's something that betters your timing or your accuracy or something like that. Like I hope you found something new. Cause
Well, and it's not necessary. It may or may not actually be designed for performance enhancing, like what Alvarado was suspended for last year. It was actually a weight loss supplement.
mhm.
But one of the ingredients it is that it would enhance performance, which he said he didn't know was on the banned list. Da 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 da. But here's the thing, and this is kind of like it's starting to become widely knowledgeable throughout Major League Baseball. Usually at the beginning of the year, somewhere between December and January, there's a new list of drugs that, through whatever systems that Major League Baseball uses, will put on a banned substance list. They hand the list out to all Major League Baseball players and they tell them, listen, if you're using this supplement, you were able to use it last year, but you're not able to use it this season coming up. I think they give them like 45 days to get it out of their system. That's why they do it strategically in this time frame to get it out by the time they get to spring training, and then they get tested again and make sure it's out of their system. So at this point, it's one thing if the system's new, but the system's been around for quite a bit. There shouldn't be a reason, you know, there just shouldn't be a reason to fail these tests.
Yeah, they really shouldn't. I mean, like the city of Philadelphia, between yeah Jose Alvarado last year, who was pitching well too. He was pitching well.
Mhm.
Um, and then you had Paul George a few weeks ago. Now you have Johan Rojas, who probably, he might have had some days with the big team this year, unless he just like really wowed people in spring training, which maybe that's what he was trying to do with wild people in spring training. Um, but that's three players in less than a calendar year, and I'm probably missing somebody somewhere. But that's three players in less than a calendar year in one city. Um, that people get suspended, but not the doggone Rojas. Let's move a little down, uh 95 to 85, and talking about the Atlanta Braves, which I was I don't want to say I was happy, but I was happy and disappointed at the same time to hear about what happened to the Atlanta Braves Jerks Profar, because I like him as a baseball player, and I think part of that comes from that he was in the Little League World Series. His team won the championship in the Little League World Series back in the day, and for whatever reason, I just remembered his name. Um, but Jurickson Profar for the Atlanta Braves has been suspended for 162 games. And if you are curious about how when he'll be able to come back during the season, he won't. He's been suspended for the entire season because this is his second failed test in a year, because he was suspended for 80 games last year for failing a test. Why was I disappointed? Like I said, I kind of like Jurickson Profar as a baseball player. He's the type of guy that I sometimes was like, I wish the Phillies had a guy like that. Why was I kind of happy? Well, the Atlanta Braves signed him over the off season, over the winter, whatever you want to call it. He was an Atlanta Brave. He went from being what was he, a Padre last year to
But he
an
was a
Atlanta
Padre
Brave.
before, yeah.
And I was like, damn, I really don't want to have to see Jurickson Profar that many times. Not that he's a world beater, but he's a solid player. And then you had to see him with Ronald Acuna Jr. and that whole squad. Because I'm just saying, this is the year Ronald Acuna Jr. stays healthy the entire year. We can revisit that if I'm wrong, and I don't mean he's going to be healthy. He's going to play every game. He could, but what I'm saying is he's not going to have a season-ending injury this year. That's what I'm saying. But any thoughts on that, on Jurickson Profar? I mean, like, you look kind of surprised that I kind of gave him the praise that I did.
He's a schmuck. So here's my whole thing. Just a flat out schmuck. Because unlike Rojas, because we don't know what medications he got pinched for, we won't find out until after the appeal. But he was Profar was pinched for. Let me make sure my statement is accurate. Where does it call? Uh, exogenous testosterone and its metabolites. So, which means testosterone that was not produced by his body, which is his second offense. And of course, in his statement, he said, "I would never willingly take a banned substance, but I take full responsibility and accept MLB's decision," which means that he is willing to take those metabolites or whatever, or he was giving something and doesn't want to out the person that gave it to him. Because here's my thing, you schmuck, you lost 15. You when you get suspended, you get no pay. So he lost $15 million this year, and then in 2025 he lost half of his $12 million salary for when he got pinched the first time. So he's lost a total of 21, $22 million in
in
pay
less than 2 years.
in less than 2 years.
Yeah, you're right.
You Deutsch.
Actually, Miguel, correct me if I'm wrong. He's lost that much in less than a year.
Correct. Correct. Because he was first 80 games of last year. Like at some point, it's a mentality. Like I get it. You're trying to, I get it. You're trying to get better. You're trying to recover from injuries quicker. You're trying to be better, quicker, faster, whatever. But it's like there's so many things that you can do and not do. There's so many things you can take and not take. Some of it over the counter. Like I just don't see how this keeps happening. I don't. I don't
You don't see how this can what?
keep happening.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at a certain point for me, when it keeps happening, it's a choice. Not it's not necessarily. I guess it could be an accident. There's a lot of people around these guys. I'm wondering if he's like taking eugenics. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I just see that commercial when you said the testosterone booster thing. I just thought of eugenics, and I'm like,
You thought of Frank Thomas and
Yeah, the Frank Thomas, Doug Flutie stuff. Um, it might be eugenics. Maybe maybe they're trying to boost their testosterone before they start losing the damn, hmm, their
just say
test.
male juices.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
Okay.
I don't want to say that. I don't feel like something that I want coming. Uh, let's move on. Um, move on. World Baseball Classic starts tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
I'm always confused by it because it's like you say it'll be like they'll say tomorrow, but it'll be like tonight or like early in the morning. So I'm always confused. But I think it's
oh yeah,
tomorrow
yeah,
night at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the evening for us. Um,
right.
because of course they're playing games in different places in the world. The World Baseball Classic. If you were not with us last week, I explained that the World Baseball Classic came about because they eliminated baseball from the Olympics and to have an international competition in baseball, which I believe should happen because baseball is probably one of the oldest international games. Probably not. I just made that up top of my head, but
It
it's
really
it's
isn't, but
one of
it
the
really,
international
it
games
really
that a lot of
isn't.
people
But
play outside of soccer. Um,
I wouldn't say
I'm,
that either.
I'm looking at the. You know what? I'm gonna just share it. Share it with the people. Let's do that. Share it with the people. What is it? It's this. Okay. Here are your pools for the World Baseball Classic. In Pool A, which is starting their play in San Juan, Puerto Rico. You have Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Puerto Rico. In Pool B, which is in Houston. You have Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, and the United States of America. I just had an idea, Miguel. Remind me to go back to the idea after I finish the last pool. Pool C
Sure.
is being played in Tokyo, Japan, and that has Australia, Chinese Taipei, Czechia,
Chechnya.
Japan, Chechnya.
I always thought it was Chechnya, but I could be
I don't
wrong.
see another N in there, but
Right. No, no, no. You're right. I just
that country. I think there is a Chechnya, and there might be a. I don't know. Let me not go on record. I don't know, but I think there might be two. Anyway, Japan and Korea, and then Pool D, which is being played in Miami, Florida. You have Dominican Republic, Israel, the Netherlands, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. My idea I had, Miguel,
hmm
and I want to be careful how I say it. When I read the United States, I thought about a few years back, about 4 years back, whatever, when Russia invaded Ukraine.
hmm
The international, I don't know, it was the International Olympic Committee or the international whatever it was, basically kind of at that time banned Russia from competing in international competition, and any Russian athletes were competing under, was it the unified team? Remember back in the day in '92 Olympics, it was the unified team, which was the Soviet Union after the breakup. But I forgot what they were called. But I was just thinking, due to the events that happened over this weekend, what if we were banned from international play? Do you think that could ever happen? I mean, I could. Do you think that would ever happen?
Yeah, I think it could. I mean, it's happened once before in the '80 Olympics that were in Moscow, the winter or the I think it was the Summer Olympics in Moscow because
Was it were we banned, or was it the was
no,
it
we
a
we chose the President Carter chose not to
not to compete?
send a team to the Olympics that year because of a hostage situation that was going on between two and four countries. I can't remember the name of the countries offhand, but um, yeah,
So Daryl said he took the drugs just to be able to hit the ball a little bit.
right, a little bit.
um, well, back to the World Baseball Classic. I always look forward to the World Baseball Classic, even though I don't get to watch as many games as I would like to watch. I always think it's fun to watch people compete for their country. Um, I always like to see Cuba play because I always like to see like what they have for the people that haven't defected from Cuba, because there's a lot of Cubans that are going to be playing for other countries. But could you imagine if those Cubans that are playing for other countries never defected? You could imagine how good Cuba would be.
Yeah, and
Randy
Cuba's
Arozarena comes to mind.
and say that again.
Randy Arozarena comes to mind.
Mm,
He's cute. I think he plays for Mexico because I believe when he defected, he went to Mexico, got Mexican citizenship.
right. Yep.
I believe that was his story.
And Cuba's going through something now. There's no power on the island, so there's millions of people that don't have power because of the invasion, the United States in Venezuela. So basically, I believe what I read earlier was the United States was going to fine anybody that gives oil or takes oil from Venezuela, and Cuba relied on Venezuelan oil.
Mm.
So I think the island has been out for a couple days now.
Yeah, that could definitely be a whole nother conversation, and I don't want to get into that, but
Yeah.
This stuff is deep, way deeper than surface deep, and I know a lot of people probably more worried about the Epstein files. Um, so yeah, like I said, the World Baseball Classic starts soon within the next 48 hours. I'm gonna just say it like that. Within the next 48 hours, you're gonna see some international baseball being played. Um, who you got? Nothing I asked you last week, Miguel, but who you got? Did we do the bracket last? I did like a online bracket.
Yeah, I don't think we did anything official.
Well, let's put it like this. Let me put it back up here, and
We got to compare the. We got to look at the rosters and compare it that way. That's really how we have to do it.
yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that in time right
Well, not
now.
tonight, but at least because
But by next week,
the
some teams
playoff
might be by this time next week.
yeah the playoff rounds don't the quarterfinals start on the 14th. So that's what
14th, yeah, that's next Saturday, I
so
believe.
next Saturday. So by the next show we can.
We'll still probably know who's going to be eliminated. We'll still know that like Israel will be eliminated and Czechia will be eliminated and Italy and Great Britain and Brazil will probably be eliminated. And let's see who. Pool A is always confusing to me. Canada could be sneaky because there are some good Canadian players. But you got the Cubans. You never know what they're going to come with. Colombia, Panama, sometimes, but no. But Puerto Rico is always strong there. I'm always expecting Puerto Rico to come out of their pool. Um, I'm just going to give you my pool winners right now.
Okay. And it's
I
the
got,
top. It's the top two, right?
I believe it's the top two.
Because it's okay.
So
It's down two.
I got Puerto Rico, United States, Japan, and the
So
Dominican Republic.
do it by pool. Who do you got in pool A? Who's coming out of pool A?
Puerto Rico. You want me to give you both teams?
Yeah, give the top two.
Give me Puerto Rico and Cuba.
All right. I see your Puerto Rico. My Puerto Rico. Um,
You're not looking at the rosters, are you?
not
If you're
yet.
looking at the rosters, you're cheating.
Not yet. No, because I was thinking about Canada for some reason. And I'm trying to think of. I haven't looked at
Canada
any
got
of
some
them.
boppers, if I remember correct. I can't remember
Right.
who. They got a couple boppers.
If
It's
it's
just like Cuba's that dark horse. You just never really know.
hey, it's racist. No, I'm joking. Um, um,
We got to get the little racist boy, not the not
the
not
what?
the boy that yells out that's racist. We gotta get
That's racist.
we gotta get.
I'll stick with Puerto Rico and Cuba. I got to see the rosters though, but
Well, maybe we can go live one day on the check
I
swing.
don't know. For now, we'll do it now, and then we'll go back and amend it next week once we look at the rosters. But for now, we'll just do it like naked, whatever. So Puerto Rico and Cuba and Pool A.
I'm doing nothing naked with you, just so that's out there. All right,
Right.
Pool B. Who you got?
I have USA and Mexico.
I also have USA and Mexico. We're getting a lot of countries that never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. We got a lot. We're getting a lot of countries that the president of this country don't like.
Well, president doesn't like brown and black, so that's another.
Yeah, so yeah. Pool C. You went first. Last. I'll take this one. Pool C. Give me Japan and Korea. Yeah, give me Japan and Korea.
I mean, I hate to pick it, but I hate to like agree with you on
That's
everything. But
that's like chalk.
yeah,
It's chalk.
although I don't know, wasn't Chinese Taipei?
I think they got smoked in the last one.
Did they? Because I remember hearing a lot about maybe that was the reason why. Because they got so. Um,
Like I was expecting them to be good because a little league, but they were
you
getting
can't,
smoked.
you can't go. Always go
Trying to
with the
beat them.
Japanese because they practice with golf balls and crap. So yeah, I guess I go Japan and Korea.
Now this is this pool D is the one I already said who I got in it. I think I did. I know I said the winner. My number two. Is this the one I'm going first? Or you going first in this one? I
I'll
think you're
go
going
first.
first.
I
Yeah, you.
got Dominican Republic and Venezuela.
Damn it, I got it. I think we picked all the same teams.
Yeah, and
Because
again, going by
no,
even going by the last World Baseball Classic, I think Canada was the upset in the last, or it might have been Mexico. Somebody there was like two big upsets in the last tournament. I think one of them was Canada, the other one was Mexico.
I think you're right.
Um,
I think you're right. I remember Canada winning something. I don't know if it was that Canada won a game.
yeah,
I think it might have been they won their first game, or was it little? See, I get this confused with Little League.
and
You know what I mean?
I think actually Mexico beat Puerto Rico because I think that was the game after Edwin
Edwin Diaz.
Diaz tore his
Yeah,
ACL celebrating.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think whatever team it was, they upset Puerto Rico.
All right, so we're going to have to revisit this again after we look at the rosters and
And we did this last time, so I'll make sure that I get the rosters. I'll put them together, and we can look at them and have some fun.
I know I probably last time didn't expect the United States to get to the finals. I know that.
I definitely didn't expect. I was expecting an Asian team or a Latin team or Caribbean team to make the finals. I was not expecting the U.S.
Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting the U.S. Um, so let's move on. We'll talk more about the World Baseball Classic as it is upon us. Actually, is upon us within the next 24 to 48 hours. Like I said, I don't understand international time frames, but um, it is what it is. Tyrese Maxey, Philadelphia 76ers franchise player. Tyrese Maxey broke a record the other day, a Sixers franchise record. If you didn't hear about it, um, man, did it happen the day after the show last week, Miguel?
That's when all the stuff started happening.
I think it happened the day after. That's when everything happens. The day after our show. Tyrese Maxey takes over as the 3 point leader. 3 point. How do you say it? Three. He's the number one. Go ahead. You say it. You probably. I'm struggling today. Go ahead.
3%.
Yeah, you're struggling too. All right, I'm gonna just read it. Tyrese Maxey breaks Sixers franchise all-time 3 point record, previously held by Allen Iverson, which is amazing to me, but not really when you think about it. Here's why: Allen Iverson played 12 seasons with the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey is in his sixth season with the Sixers. Now, Miguel, we all know Allen Iverson was a willing scorer. Wasn't a big 3 point shooter. Apparently he was for the Sixers, but he wasn't. He was more known for driving to the basket, getting mid range shots.
But it wasn't for lack of attempts. That's for damn sure.
Oh, he had his attempts. He had his attempts. Um, believe it or not, Maxey is not far from Allen Iverson in attempts. He is about, give or take, he's about 500 shots behind Allen Iverson.
Is that all?
About 500 shots. Maxey has attempted 2,353, while Allen Iverson attempted 2,868. But so congratulations to him, right? Congratulations to him. But when I was looking at this, I was kind of surprised by something. I was surprised by who was number 6 on the list. And if you look there, Joel Embiid is number 6 all time with the Sixers. 3 pointers made. And it's I'm looking and I'm like, I just did not expect to see him on this list. I really didn't. Like I didn't know how I felt about it either. Like he's a center, and I know we came up in the '80s, '90s when centers were back to the basket. You better not shoot from the outside. It's a different game today, more of a European style game, and he's changed his game in that sense for whatever reason. But Joel Embiid has hit more 3-pointers than Andre Iguodala, Hersey Hawkins. Now, Hersey only played 5 years with the Sixers, but Hersey Hawkins, who was a very good 3-point shooter. JJ Redick, only 2 years with the Sixers. Furkan Korkmaz, who was a 3-point shooter. I didn't realize he played 7 years with the Sixers. Lou Williams, Hollis Thompson, Dana Barros. That was the name I wanted to get to. Dana Barros, he shot a lot of 3-pointers with the Sixers
In 2 seasons.
in 2 seasons, 332. And in one of those seasons, if you remember, Miguel, I believe he set the NBA record for consecutive games making a 3-pointer at the time. And I remember watching the game when he did it. I don't remember who it was against, but I remember watching the game when he did it, and it was down to the last second. And Dana Barros, needed to make a 3-pointer to get the record, to set the record. Excuse me. We're down to the last seconds of the game. Sixers are losing. And it's like, I want to say it's probably might have been less than a second on the clock, Miguel. And I remember the inbound pass goes to Dana Barros. He jumps, catches the ball, and shoots it up, never touching the ground. Ball goes in, Sixers win the game, and he set the record. I remember it. I remember it in the paper. They had the picture of him when he caught the ball, his feet were off. I remember it. Dana Barros, they called him the little big man. I remember it. I remember it. He was fun to watch when he was a Sixer. He was fun to watch.
I was more
Earlier,
astonished.
say
I was
I'm
I
sorry.
was more I was more astonished at the fact that Embiid's been here for 10 years.
You know what? I was kind of shocked at that too because I didn't even notice that stat for seasons prior to the show. I didn't see that until just now. It does seem kind of crazy that he's been around for 10 seasons. But I wonder if they're counting the first 2 seasons of his career where he was what he was drafted. He was drafted and they knew he wasn't going to play at least for 1 year. And then he had a setback in the preseason the second. So I think was it 2 years or a year and a half? It was 2 years, I believe.
Years.
So I wonder if they're counting those years as well. Because if they're not, then he has that many. He's only 2 years. Never mind. Let me. I think I was about to say something stupid, but anyway. VJ Edgecombe, as I mentioned earlier, out tonight versus the Jazz. He got hurt last night when they played the San Antonio when they got trounced by the San Antonio Spurs. We'll talk about that in a second. And it was not a pointless shot, but it was going into halftime. Like it wasn't a game winning shot, nothing like that. He was going up to shoot the ball as the time was running out in the second quarter, and the guy behind him was blocking the ball, but as he goes to block the ball, makes contact with VJ's body. VJ gets kind of turned around, legs coming from under him, and he lands on his tailbone. And he has a lumbar contusion now, and he'll be reevaluated before they play the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday. Excuse me. But like I said earlier, they got trounced by the Spurs last night. They got pretty bad. Was it Sunday night? Was today Wednesday? Sunday night, I think against the Celtics. They got beat pretty good. But this is their fourth game losing by 40 plus points at home this season. And I didn't know the number, but I knew that they had gotten beat pretty pretty bad at home a few times this year. Miguel, the Sixers for some weird reason, and I don't remember in recent Philly history, I don't really remember a team that did better on the road than they have at home, and they're like in playoff contention. You know what I mean? I can't think. I don't know if the Phillies. I feel like the Phillies might have been better on the road than at home a couple years ago or something. Um, the Eagles have had a pretty good record. A couple years they lost like 3 or 4 games. I don't really. That's not really a litmus test to me because they could have lost 3 home games and 1 road game.
Right.
Um, but I think that that's interesting because the fans, Philadelphia fans, it's not the same fan base that's going to Philly that's going to Eagles games that's going to Sixers games, right? The
Right.
Sixers and the Phillies are more family night out than the Eagles. The Eagles, you take a young into the Eagles game. I want to say I remember my dad took me to a preseason game for the Eagles. It was my first professional football game going to, and and I don't remember the exact conversation, but I remember him telling me, "Now look," and you know where I'm going. He said,
Hmm.
"Now look, I'm going to tell you something." He said, "You may hear and see some things that are not necessarily what you're used to seeing at if you go to a Sixers game, Phillies game." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I ain't know no better. Yes, they had a jail under the stadium and all like that, but I'm like, and honestly, I don't remember seeing anything then, but I've heard the stories. Um, I've been there when people have run on the field. I've been there when people have gotten into fights. I accidentally one time kicked the old man in the back at the Eagles game. Yes, I accidentally kicked the old man in his back. Sorry, I was tailgating too.
Yeah, my
Just
my first Eagles game. It was 1994. It was Eagles Cardinals. It was the return of Buddy Ryan to Philadelphia.
mm.
And I think I sat in we sat in the 300 level. We had good seats, and it was my first time. I was what 13, 14. First time experience a contact high before I knew what a contact high was. So there were there was a row of scraggly, they all looked like they just got off the job at a construction site. They were wearing they looked like hobos. But they were passing around this really long. I thought it was a pipe at first, but it was wrapped in aluminum foil. So I thought, oh, it's a cheesesteak, right? So I figured they're on a budget. They're
Mm.
passing the cheesesteak down the row. They're sharing the cheesesteak. I'm like, this is lovely. Except that I noticed that no one's actually taking anything from the bread. They're actually taking the stuff that's inside the bread, and they're each one took out a Ziploc bag with some herbs that they decided to just. And back then, you could
or just herb,
herb.
or just herb.
And it was the first. I found out. Hello, I found out how to roll it and smoke it
In that moment,
in that moment. And
huh?
the only thing I thought about, and the Eagles did win, by the way. But I remember the train ride home. I'm like, damn, I am hungry. Shit, I was like, I need Cheetos, Oreos, I need
All
gummies, all of that at the same time.
man, that the stuff that you could get away with at the vet that you can't get away with. I wish I was older going to the vet so I can do things to get away with.
Hmm. I want to read the story about. You ever heard the story about the apartment underneath the vet?
Yeah, then I sent it to you,
You're the one that sent it to me. Okay, I want to.
and I don't even think I'm not even sure it was underneath the vet. It was between two what are they called? Like sections or what are like levels between two levels or something like that.
That is crazy.
Something like between two levels. Yeah, that's crazy. And the only well, I'll let you read the story, and then maybe we could talk about it next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't even know how we got to that, but yeah, the Sixers lost another game, about 40 plus points. Um, are you stumping me today?
Yeah.
Did I forget something? I'm sorry.
Uh, I was gonna do the videos first in honor of Women's Month.
Oh, I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were able to do that or not. Okay,
So I can. I just got to share. I have to do what we originally did and just share my.
and I'll need to mute myself.
Probably. I mean, we'll see. Since this platform seems to want to do whatever the hell they want and not tell no freaking buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because stuff that used to be on this side of the screen is now on this side of the screen. So don't tell me that nothing has changed. I'm just saying.
All
And
right.
then there's something in the middle now too, and stuff looks different. Okay.
All right.
Um, let me know when to mute myself.
All right. So again, these videos are in honor. We usually play like stuff. It's usually men's sports, men's versions. We're gonna give the women their proper acknowledgement. So this is a little passionate martial arts exhibition.
All right. I'm so nervous. I've not seen these videos yet, y'all. I'm just very nervous about what
I don't
Miguel's.
understand why you don't need to be nervous. Have I ever done? All right, let's play.
Ooh wee!
That is what I said.
One hitter quitter. I like it. One hitter quitter. Is there another one?
Yes. This is how basketball should be played.
Got this. I got this.
Ooh wee! That was a big girl.
So this one is a short little highlight reel. Um, since the NFL usually has their combine this time of year, just wanted to display and show the women's girls flag NFL combine. So here are the highlights from that.
That was for professional, like flag football, women's
So
professional
you know how
football.
they're doing the flag football. Uh, so the goal, I believe, is to have a flag football league similar to what they're doing for the women's baseball league.
Okay.
So they're gonna have like a draft and everything like that. So we'll see.
Can I just say the combine is complete BS?
Horse crap, yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's another one.
Yeah, I want to run I'm gonna just go back to back. These are just a couple of plays from women's softball because women. I actually enjoy watching women's softball because just from the the way they play the game, everything like that. I just think it's great. It's entertaining. It's energetic. All that good stuff. So here
I
are a couple highlights.
completely. Actually, and I hope it's not part of the video and I'm spoiling it. Did you see that the fastest ever softball pitch was pitched? Women's softball pitch was
Hmm.
pitched the other day. I forgot who the team was, but it was almost 80 miles an hour. It was 79 point something miles an hour.
Which would be equivalent to, I guess, like 105 or something.
Probably something like that.
It's crazy.
And it was fouled off though too. Like it wasn't a whiff. And it wasn't like a tip foul. It was a foul ball pulled down the first base line. Ground ball, but pulled down the first base line. So the batter was on it too. But here is your video. Here we go.
Better. She just lays down a sack.
And the diving catch by Warren for the double play. That ball's up in the air. She comes out of nowhere. Look at that. That is a sports.
Another foul ball that way.
High fly ball to the left in foul territory, and it's caught on a sliding catch by Pavlik, and the throw is in time at home.
Huge catch in left by Caitlin Pavlik. Tap foul territory. Huge throw home.
Here's a couple more.
And this runner does go this time. The tag. And grab it. And I don't know. I think she was out.
Shellnuts throw down because she has to wait for the swing to get through.
And she's clearly out. On.
Here's another one.
2-2. Drilled out to center. 2-2. Drilled out to center. Janai Kerr with the backhand. Yeah, the base runner Cheyenne Factor all the way to third, and the tag is made by Flaherty on the throw-in.
Naomi.
Oof.
All right. So now I love the face tag. Let's see. Are you up for some violence?
Always.
So here's all right. So this was interesting, and come to find out, there's a whole slew of these that are AI generated, and I think I sent it to you. Think about a concept that would be entertaining in the most galling way.
In the most what way?
Galling way.
All right, so you're gonna have to explain to me the word galling.
Like absurd, or like
Okay.
something that's just like so out of. I'm gonna say it the way that I say it to my son because he hates the way I say it, but like something that's so outside of the pocket. Just think about, all right.
See why he hates it.
Right. So again, there's a slew of these that are out. They are AI generated. This isn't real, but it looks real.
What was it, the one with the babies and he found out he's a Dallas Cowboys fan and got mad and ran out the hospital?
No, not that one. Let's take a look. Just think about this as an Olympic event in like 2062.
Why am I a little scared of this too?
This one you should be scared of.
Is this the video?
Oh, let me cue it.
I was to say, because this is an Olympic event.
All right, here we go. Ready? Let's do it.
All right. Yes, I have seen that video. X Games. I can see that in the X Games, kinda. Winter X Games. But not with as many people though. They gotta
There was like 1,000 people.
they gotta decrease the amount of people.
Right.
Nobody's ever gonna make it to the finish line.
All right. Last video of the night. This is a judgment call. You make the call. Is it fair or is it foul?
Let's see. All right. So from a video perspective, we can't tell. We just can't tell from a video perspective. We can't. Did it go? Because we didn't see where where it went over the wall. Did it go around the pole, or did it fall in front? We don't see it until we don't see the point where it crosses the wall. Like we don't see what it's doing way up here. We just see it coming down.
It looks 15 feet foul to me.
It does from that perspective. You're absolutely right. It does, but we don't see we don't see what the ball is doing.
No, and I get you there, but even him hitting the baseball off the barrel of the bat, it almost looks like when he hits it in the air, it's hugging the line. It's already hugging the line and already starting to turn. And even if it were to wrap around the pole, like you say, so if this is the pole, it would have to kind of go like the angle would have to be really sharp.
Depending on how far it went beyond the wall.
Right, but I mean, for it to be that, like, there's a set of trees there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's watch it again. Can we watch it again?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this video, and it's just for me, it's just, and again, I've said this a million times. This is why I don't want to be an umpire, referee, or anything. But in this video, it's for the video perspective. Now I feel like the umpire. I feel like the umpire should be able to determine it, but I feel like from this, we have a worse vision. We have a worse perspective, a worse view than the umpire. But here we go. So seeing it just now, I'm still not sure because you do see more of it, but it looked like it went right over the pole. It looked like it went right over the pole to me.
What?
Let's watch it again. You want to watch it again? Just watch the top of the pole.
All right. This is the baseball right here. Here's the pole.
Okay. Back it up.
And it's going.
How far is the thing? We don't know how far it's traveled. We just can't tell. It's hard to tell.
I think for me, because it's right down the line though. Let me see if I can.
But obviously, it wasn't. So if it's down the line, like you said, it wasn't really pulling it that hard to be where it was by the time it gets 300 something feet away.
Guess. Because even here, because when he hits the baseball, he hits it here and it only goes up like this. So it's already starting to turn. You see what I'm saying? So it's already curving in that direction to foul. The other thing is, if you look at the outfielder, he's like drifting here, and the ball is where it, and it's set, based on how it lands and where you hear it land. It doesn't sound. It sounds like it's only like maybe 5 or 6 feet over the fence. So from here to about here,
I don't know how you can make that. I don't
I,
know how you can make that by the sound because only we don't know what's back there and what it could have hit.
well, the other thing is too is like if for it to hug the pole, it would have to go over those trees that are there, and it's like I don't know.
I mean, to me, it don't look like it would.
I would have been kicked
And
out
it
of
almost
the.
looks like if you look at the left fielder now, Miguel, and then see you done stepped into the wrong place because I'm a person that at one point in my life I wanted to be a lawyer because of the movie My Cousin Vinny. Okay, if you look at the left fielder, look at the way it looks like they're looking up. They're not. It doesn't look like they're looking out over the
No.
beyond the foul pole. It looks like they're looking up directly at the foul pole.
So all right, let's do this. Put it back up on the screen. This is him looking up, as you say, and then when the ball finally comes into sight, now he's looking out. Hold up, I always wanted to do. I always want to do the back and to the left, back and to the left. So now you see, here's his face. Now he's looking.
That
That don't
do it.
do it.
What?
It don't
It
do
don't
it.
do it.
Now, here's what I will say: from everyone's reaction, it seemed like it was foul. But what
Especially
I'm saying is, from our perspective, it is hard to tell. It's very hard to tell.
the person that was on third base looked at the coach like, "Really?"
And here's what I will say: maybe it may not have. Maybe the video makes it look closer than it actually was because it does look far. Like when you see the ball coming down and landing, yes, it is well on the other side of the foul pole. But as a person that has worked in television for many, many years and has worked in television at stadiums in my career, I do know that the angle at which the camera is sitting, which it does look like it's down the line, but you can't be sure of that because the way cameras zoom and all like that. I'm just telling you from experience. I'm telling you from experience. There's been many times we watched an MLB game and thought it was a home run or it wasn't a home run, and it was called it. And then they get the different camera angle. It's like, oh wow, yeah, that did go around the pole, or that was way. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things. It's just one thing. I've worked in the industry for over 20 years. Wow, damn, I worked in the industry over 20 years. Good lord, good lord. Um, who the hell won the World Series in 2005? I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Let me think. Uh, In '05. Who was that? So the Diamondbacks were in '01.
Mm-hmm.
Was the White Sox?
Yes.
Damn. Don't ask me if I remember anybody play for that team though, because I don't. I remember Ozzie Guillen, but that's about it. Um, all right, two-time All-Star, 2005 World Series champion, and they won the ERA title. When did they play for the Phillies?
2007.
All right, so we're looking at Seattle, the White
Mm-hmm.
Sox, the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the is that Tampa?
No, Detroit Tigers.
Detroit back with the White Sox. And that's the
Mhm.
World Series, right? No, the World Series is before the Phillies.
Correct.
Then the Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
Astros or Orioles.
Orioles.
And what's that last team? Is that the Nationals?
The Braves.
So we're talking about a pitcher, won the ERA title. So that means they would have to be a starter, right? You can't win the ERA title unless you're a starter. Is that correct?
Mm-mm. That's not necessarily true.
Oh,
It's
really?
I mean, it's based on innings pitched. So you can be a reliever that
That pitched a
just
lot of innings.
pitch a lot of innings.
Agree.
Technically, it's very very rare. I don't think it's. I think it's come close twice, but usually, or I think Dennis Eckersley might have won it once or twice as a reliever.
Let me ask you a question. Is this person, what is the nationality of this person?
That's the first time you ever asked that question. You know that?
It's the second time.
When was the first time?
It might have been like a couple months ago.
I don't recall you doing it. He is of Latino descent.
Oh man, I feel like I know who it is. Don't know, can't remember the name, but I feel like I heard his name mentioned on the radio or something just not too long ago. And he was like a real good pitcher, and he like did nothing with us. Am I right? Am I right in
Mhm.
saying that, Miguel?
Yes.
Why am I hiding behind the microphone? um, is his first name Carlos?
No, but nice stereotype.
No, because there's
That's racist.
there's a picture, and he was just mentioned. I was like, yo, one day Miguel's going to use this dude, and it's probably ain't him. One day Miguel's going to use this dude, and I'm not going to remember his name. Is it Estrada? Was his last name Estrada? Estrada is the person that you've the person is this person's last name Estrada?
No.
Okay. The
I'll give
Mariners,
you.
the White Sox, the Phillies, the Tigers. He went. Who went from the Phillies to the Tigers? See, I don't know if I've ever watched. I may have watched the Tigers twice in my life. Who went from the Phillies to the Tigers? And who came from the White Sox to the Phillies as a pitcher? I don't know. You got me on this one. I don't know.
You done?
I'm done. You got me.
The pitcher's name
Hold on.
is
Actually, you know what? Don't even say the name. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. What is his name? What's his name?
Freddie Garcia.
Damn it. That's who they were talking about on the radio the other day.
So the Phillies had signed him to a 1 year deal because he had been coming back from an arm injury. Brian Gillick or Pat Gillick, the GM of the Phillies, always points this as the one big mistake that he made as GM because this was his first big signing.
Give him a
Um,
lot of money.
Gave him a lot of money, but he was hurt. He only pitched 11 games for us. He went 1-5. His ERA was like 6. Um, had a rebirth in his second stint with Chicago, but it was kind of short lived, and then he kind of floated around the last 5 years. But he was dominant with the Mariners and his first time with the White Sox. So, and that's he was, I think, the number 3 pitcher starter on the '05 World Champions.
I could not remember his. It's crazy, man, because I knew he was coming up at some point. I knew you were going to use this guy at some point. Could not remember his name to save my life, and wouldn't even know how to look him up. Now I do, but I wouldn't even know how to like. Who was that Phillies pitcher that I can't remember his name? He played in like the early 2000s. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be able to. Damn, that was a good
Right.
one. That was a good one. I guess you said you got too many football ones in a row. We're gonna go back to baseball.
Which is funny because that's your sport.
It's the sport that I know how to play the best, and probably that I mentally know the best. I probably have watched more basketball, and I'm probably more. Which reminds me, and I'm probably more into the basketball history. But that reminds me, I had a trivia question for you from one of our viewers. Give me 1 second. Um, it's a basketball trivia question.
Okay, I probably won't get it.
I think you will get it, but I'm going to try to ask it in a way that doesn't make it obvious. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll tell you how I want to ask it, and then like it'll be almost obvious. Okay. Now, just like you, um, there is a Philadelphia tie with the stuff you give me. Just like the stuff you give me,
Mhm.
this question has a Philadelphia tie to it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I have to ask it. I'm sorry, Meg. I have to ask it in a way that makes it a little more difficult because it's not that hard of a question. Okay. I gotta do it Jeopardy style. All right. Earlier this week, in it was in the past. It wasn't earlier this week this year, okay? But in the past, earlier this week, one day this week, the there was an NBA record set that that still stands to this day. Do you know what that all-time record is? Now I can ask it in a way that will I can give you hints and all like that, but believe me when I say the way I asked the question made it a lot more difficult. Do you have any guesses?
Is it most Chick-fil-A milkshakes in one sitting by Joel Embiid?
You ruined it because I know if you really just kind of just think about it, if you just kind of think about it, you're gonna be like, I probably should have.
Is it
Like when I
most
say it's a very easy, and I had to ask the question in a way to make it more difficult.
was it most points scored in a game, or
It was. Do you know who? Do you know who that was?
I don't know
If you
who?
if you don't know who
I
that, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk down to
well, no,
and slap.
I know it was Wilt Chamberlain with 100,
Yes,
but who?
that is correct.
So wait a minute. So the
I had to ask it in a difficult way to make it. You see why? If I said There was an NBA record set on March 2nd, 1962 that still stands today. What is that record? And who
I
set it?
got you.
You're gonna say, oh, well, it's either Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Wilt Chamberlain, but you know what I mean? Like who else was setting records? I don't know.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
March 2nd, 1962, Wilt dropped his 100-point game against, I believe it was the Syracuse, who was it? The New York Knicks, excuse me. The New York Knicks, the Sixers.
And for some reason it was in Hershey.
It was, yes, it was. It was in Hershey. It was in Hershey. I don't know why, but my guess would be because the NBA might have been more of a traveling show at that point than it is now, where people are contracted to play in certain places. That's just my and funny thing about it, and you may know this. Well, I'll go ahead and close down the thing. Wilt Chamberlain, when he scored the 100 points and was playing for the for Philly, for the Philadelphia Warriors at the time, he lived in New York City, and he rode home with guys from the New York Knicks. He rode home in the car with the guys from the New York Knicks back to New York City, back home.
That's funny.
Could you imagine that you drop 100 points on somebody and you gotta give them a ride home, or somebody drops 100 points on you, you gotta give them a ride home?
Yo, that's funny.
Could you imagine giving up 5 home runs to somebody and you gotta give them a ride home? That's the craziest thing about it to me. He rode home with the other team.
That's
Wilt
crazy.
Chamberlain, man, may he rest in peace. One of the greatest, if not the greatest athlete of all time.
And
Amazing story about Wilt Chamberlain.
And remember, he had another stat that he wrote a book about, 20,000.
Yep. Yep. Yes, he did. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. You know, it might be another record. I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Anyway, we gonna get up out of here. Any last words, Miguel, before we get up out of here?
No.
Good. Look, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with myself and, of course, my man Miguel, who's down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
We will be back next week with all the shenanigans that we that we have. And I'm trying to look at the calendar. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but I think the 10-7 show might be coming back this week, y'all.
Oh, shucky duckies.
I gotta double check on that, but I think the 10-7 show might be coming back this Sunday. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. We will let you know. All right. But until then, we'll see y'all next time here on the Check Swing Podcast on Neutral Radio. Make sure you share this link with your friends, family, and all your enemies. Of course, if you didn't like us, you gotta share it with your enemies. But if you love what we're doing, man, we appreciate y'all sharing and liking the video and subscribing to the Neutrals Radio YouTube channel. With all that being said, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all once again for hanging with us. We'll talk to y'all next week here on the Check Swing Podcast. Peace out.
Until we meet again.